Okay, so the purpose of this video is to go through the multiplication and division workbook from this crash course and work out all the problems so you have them as reference as you're, discovering how to multiply and divide decimals. There are 60 problems in this workbook, and we will be doing it in 4 videos of 15 problems each. So the first video is going to be 1 through 15, then the second video will be 16 through 30, the next one 31 through 45, and then 46 through 60. Okay? All right, so the first thing I taught you is how to do a whole number in a decimal. Why do I start out this way? Because multiplication is just repetitive addition. Okay, so multiplication, so it's first addition, then multiplication is faster than addition, then exponents are faster than multiplication, and so on and so forth. So it builds upon each other, and knowing that the root operation is addition helps us understand why the rules work. Okay, because in addition, we have to line up our place values, right? So if I were adding something, I would have to go like this, right? But when I'm multiplying, I don't have to line up those decimals. And that is important because of what multiplication turns into. This, if I wanted to make this addition, it would be two 3.14s added together. Oh my goodness. They have the same place value. They're both to the 100th place. So the reason that we do not need something like in multiplication is not because we don't care in multiplication, though you'll hear me say, we don't care. The reason that we don't care is because it's always comparable. It's a quicker way of doing addition. So it's repetitive addition. We're adding two things together. If that was a 3, I'd be adding 3 of the 3.14. They're always going to be comparable on their own. All right, so if I were to do it by doing it as addition, then I would just add the column straight down and even bring my decimal down. But if I wanted to solve this doing multiplication, I would just put my numbers together. Do I care about this decimal? I do, but not while I'm multiplying. So the first thing I want to do is multiply the 3 through to everything. 3 times the 0 is 0, plus the 1 is 1. 3 times the 2 is 6. Okay? I multiply it by everything. All right? And I start with the first place value. Okay, start all the way flush to the right because that's where the 3 is on the second line, and it's the controller. Remember, it's the controller up here. It's 2 times this, meaning 2 of these. So the bottom number is always the controller of the problem. All right, afterwards I need to see combined how many place values. I have 2 place values in this first number, none in my second, so altogether I have to have 2 place values in my answer. All right? Let's do this one. 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 0 is 0. And then 2 times 0 is 0. I have 3 place values, so in my answer, I need 3. My answer is 0.028. 2 times 7 is 14. Carry my 1. I see a lot of borrowing issues in this class. Every time I teach it, there's always a little bit of borrowing and carrying issues. Got to keep yourself organized. Make sure you bring that 1 to that spot because I'm only looking at the ones place and I can't fit 14 in the ones place. I got to put it in the tens place. All right, so 7 times 1 is 7, plus 1 more is 8. I only have 1 decimal point, so I only need 1 in my answer, 8.4. All right, so now we're going to multiply 2 decimals. And we're going to, I think there was an example 5. I'm going to skip over it since I already have it written out, and I'm going to do example 6. Okay, so now we have 2 numbers with decimals. Remember, I still don't really care about those decimals till I get to the end. First thing I need to do is the 1 is going to control, and if those decimals are just so distracting to you, you don't have to write them. You could just go 32 and 41, okay? I'll figure them out later. So the first number that I'm going to multiply through is the 1, and because that's the first number, I have the hiccups, first number I'm multiplying through, I have to start putting my numbers underneath it. So 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. Now I need to put a place marker because I want to be directly underneath this 4. You can put a 0, you can put an X, I'm going to put a 0 with a line through it, meaning I'm not a 0. I'm actually nothing, okay? So 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is a 12. Now watch. I'm going to put my 12 way out here, all right? And that's okay. That's okay. Now I'm going to add going down. 2, 11, carry my 1. 2 plus 1 is 3, and then 1. All right, so I have 1 place value in this number and 1 place value in this number. So all together, my answer has to have 2 place values. So starting from the left, let's put that decimal point in. So the answer is 13.12. All right, so again, it doesn't matter the commutative property of multiplication says I can reverse the operands, and it doesn't change anything. So I'm going to reverse mine because I want to write it as 21 times 8 and just forget about those decimals. Right? So 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Now I care about the decimals. So I have 1, 2. I need 2 place values, decimal place values. So 1, 2. So this equals 1.68. All right. Again, I'm gonna flip-flop these. Now, when I'm writing these numbers, all I have to do is write the 5. Okay? I don't care about the numbers in front when we're on the decimal. Just like I don't care the numbers behind when I'm on the other side. 5 times 6 is 30. Carry my 3. 5 times 0 is 0 plus 3 more is 3. And 5 times 1 is 5. Now let's count. I have 3 place values in this number, decimal place values, and 1 in this one. So altogether, I have 4 decimal place values. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I'm out of digits. Well, if that ever happens, all you have to do is add a 0. Okay, so now I have 4 place values. Isn't that a depressing decimal number? Okay, let's do this next one. This 0 is lodged in the middle of 2 significant digits, so I have to keep it in this one. But this 0 is not. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start directly into the 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 2 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. All right, now directly under this 0, I'll put a little placeholder there. 0 times 3 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 1 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. All right, now I got to be directly under the 1. So let me make some columns here to keep me straight. Means I have to start in this spot. So I'm going to put some place value holders. All right, 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. If this is confusing, you can always add some extra zeros in so that it's all uniform. Now I'm going to add down. Okay, so this is going to be 6, 0, 2 plus 3 is 5. This is going to be 4, 1, and 2. Now let's go back. I have 2 decimal place values. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal place values. I need 6 decimal place values. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's what it equals. All right. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 more is 13. Got to be directly under this 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 3 is 3. Let's add. 6, 3 and 4 is 7. 1 and 3 is 4. And I have 3 decimal place values all together. So 1, 2, 3. 0.476. All right, I'm going to flip-flop my numbers because I want to. 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 more is 1. 2 times 3 is 6. Now I got to be underneath that 1. 1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 3 is 3. Now if I add it all up, I'm going to go over here to the side. That's going to be 8. This column's going to be a 10, so a 0 and carry a 1. That column's going to be a 7, and then the last column's going to be a 3. 2 decimal place values, 2 decimal place values, 4 all together. My answer is 0.3708. Now we have 3 to do. And actually, I think I'm going to stop at 14 because it's a good stopping spot. But when we have 3 numbers to multiply together, you want to do the first 2 first. All right, so let's just do 501 multiplied to 134. That's going to be 4, 0, 20. And since it's the last one, I can just write the whole thing. Now I got to be underneath this 3. I'll go ahead and put a place value in this time. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 5 is 15. Let's put 2 placeholders so that I'm underneath the 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 5 is 5. Let's add down our columns. All you're doing is adding up the column. So this is going to be 6, 7, 1, 3, and 4. And I have 2 here and 2 here, so all together 4 place values. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now I got to take this number and I have to multiply it to 4. So let me do that craziness over here. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 more is 13. 4, 5. That's going to be 28. Carry my 2. 24 plus 2 more is 26. And I only have 4 because there's none in this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. My answer is 26.8536. All right, let's take, this time I'm going to do it slightly different. Let's make all of the numbers no decimals. Just in case that was confusing to you, let's make all the numbers no decimals. And let's count up all of our place values. So that's 1 decimal place value, 2 decimal place value, 4. Our answer is going to have 4 decimal place values. Okay, I can do it this way. All right, so I'm going to multiply my 2 numbers. 121 times 103. That's going to be 3, 6, 3. Get underneath the 0. 0, 0, 0. Get underneath the 1. Be 1, 2, 1. Let's add this up. I'm going to put some placeholders. I'm going to put my answer over here. So the first column's 3, the second column's 6. That one's 4. That is 2, and that is 1. And I got to take that number and multiply it by 903. Let's do that over here. This one's going to be long. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 1 is 13. Carry the 1. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. 3 times 1 is 3. Get yourself lined up underneath the 0. And 0 times everything is just going to be 0. So it's going to be 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0. Now I get myself lined up underneath this 9. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 6 is 54 plus 2 more is 56. 9 times 4 is 36 plus 5 more is going to give me 41. 9 times 2 is 18 plus 4 more is 22. 9 times 1 is 9 plus 2 more is 11. This column is 9, 8, 3 plus 7 is 10. 7 plus 1 plus 6 is 14. 1 plus 3 plus 1 is 4, 5, 5, 5. 0 and 2 is 2, and then 1 and 1. All right, and we said 4 place values. So 1, 2, 3, 4. My answer is 1,125, 4089. Last one for this video. So again, I'm going to do it the way I did it last time. I think it happens to be easier for people. So I'm going to multiply the first two together. I'm going to flip-flop them. Just easier for me to understand. Okay, so that's going to be 6, 0, 24. Line up underneath the 6. 12, 0 plus 1 is 1. And that is going to be 48. 6, 2, 5, 10, 5. So now I'm going to do step 2, which is going to give me a very large number, but I still have to put my place value in. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1. 3 times 5 is 15. Okay, line up underneath the 1. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 5 is 5. All right, line up underneath the 7. 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 2 is 14 plus 4 more is 18. 7 times 5 is 35 plus 1 is 36. 7 times 0 is 0 plus 3 more is 3. And 7 times 5 is 35. All right, I'll put my answer over here. Well, I'll put it over here. First column is 8. This column is 15, so I'm going to carry a 1. This is going to be 9, 10, carry another 1. This column is going to be 12, so 2 and carry a 1. That's going to be 10 again, so 0 and carry a 1. That's going to be 6 and 3. And we said in the beginning that we would count our decimal places, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so keep practicing your multiplication of decimals, and when you come back, we'll start talking about dividing decimals, and we'll be starting with example 16 since 15 is already written out for you. All right, let me know if you have any more questions, and I'll talk to you on the flip side.